Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis 4. So, apologies for the late start, first of all. I had to rejig my stream schedule, but before I actually rejigged my screen schedule, I had to restart my computer, because it hasn't, I realised, been restarted in 44 days. That's how much time it spends rendering and uploading and all of that stuff, and because it hadn't restarted in that long, it took an hour and a half to update. I was just like, I need to do things! So the new schedule has been published. I had to rejig a couple of things because I am now doing a multiplayer game with Tin Tuna on Thursdays, and it kind of had to fit around his work schedule. So that will be happening straight after this stream. So at 8 o'clock PM GMT tonight, I will be doing multiplayer Crusader Kings with Tuna. So that is new, and a couple of other things had to move around. Anyway, that has now been published, so the schedule below is up to date, and the schedule up on Discord is now correct and up to date as well. Oh boy. Right, so what else has happened? Well, first of all, we have updated to the Japan update. Now, I'm really hoping this hasn't broken anything. I have not had a chance to check anything because of aforementioned hour and a half restart update thingy. So it took a couple of tries to get the game running. I think I was just having bad luck with trying to start the game and then alt-tabbing because I'm just trying to do so many different things at once to make up the time. But I think we're there now. So what has the Japan update added? That was the other thing I was kind of reading while this was getting going. It has done a couple of things, and I'll kind of read out the main points of interest. So, it said there is a bunch of AI updates, including AI performance. Save games should now save faster. Oh no, that's save transfers, that's multiplayer. Irrelevant. Yeah, lots and lots of performance updates. I think that's kind of the main thing. There are a couple of balance things, including loans are now way more expensive, which is going to be fun. They don't need to be more expensive. So minimum interest rate is now 1. I think it was possible to reduce it below 1 playing as Venice, but they're the only one that I've ever managed to do that with. What else? Interest reduction modifiers have been reduced in impact, so I haven't really been stacking them in this game, but again, that's another kind of Venice and Merchant Republic strategy, which they've effectively nerfed. Oh, there's a big nerf to the Ottomans. You now need to actually fully core a province for it to count towards Janissaries. Step governments grant faster movement speed. Interesting. That's going to be important because of a later point. Mamluk government now has a point cost in the nation designer. Horde estate is now less crippling for Horde unity. Tribal allegiance, okay, yada yada yada. Now this is the big one. Unit movement speed reduced from 1 to 0.7. Units across the board will now move more slowly. However, drilled armies now have an increased movement speed 20% faster at 100%. So if you have a drilled army, you will be able to outmaneuver your opponents. Plus there are movement speed traits, which we have seen a couple of times. Plus the maneuver skill increases your movement speed. Plus the Horde, the Step Nomad government type increases movement speed. So movement and just outmaneuvering your opponent is going to be a much bigger deal now, which is a very interesting change. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing exactly what that does. The army professionalism bonuses have been switched. Apparently, reserves, morale impact, and general costs. I'll need to look at that in game. Supply depot now lasts 5 years instead of 2, so you get more bang for your buck. Doubled base morale damage for reserves. So if your army is not drilled, you take double morale damage. That's a huge change. Armies are going to just collapse unless they're drilled. I mean, this is really beefing up the professional armies, which is kind of cool because it was a bit of a cheap thing to just say, yeah, I have loads of professionalism, sell it all for manpower. So that makes that more of a risky strategy, which is a good thing. But wow, they've swung really far the other direction. What else? There are a bunch of diplomacy changes, economy changes. These are just like generic ones. I'm trying to see if there are any really big ones like the ones I've already read out. AI, lots and lots of AI changes at war, so they should hopefully be more effective at war. If an ally is asked to prepare for war, they will now stop drilling to raise their morale. Okay, that's a pretty good one. Made offensives more likely to gather up properly. Improved AI for handling attrition. AI is much more likely to avoid reassigning leaders for drilling units while at peace, so I think that's just to upgrade them a little bit. And then a couple new interface things. So Great Horde has a new flag, Shirvan has a new flag. Advisors look at their own culture first for portrait graphics, then the province. Okay. Army maintenance is no longer a thing. I think that was just a spelling issue. I was like, what? They've removed army maint? Oh, it's a spell thing. Okay. And then a bunch of modding and scripting stuff. So, those seem to be the big ones. It's the morale changes, the loan changes. The loans are going to be much more expensive to take. And also the army professionalism changes. So it's going to be much more worthwhile to have highly professional armies and also movement speed. So is professionalism... Sorry, is the movement speed actually just directly tied to professionalism now? And it does say that if you have mercenaries in your professional armies, they will slow down back to the base speed. So you probably want to have highly drilled armies, which are then constantly reinforcing. And then if you have reserve armies, you might even want to have reserve armies with no infantry and then just buy in a bunch of mercenary infantry when the war starts. It's a legit tactic. In fact, a more legit tactic, because I already kind of did that a couple of times. Available mercenary, siege ability, land fire, shock, mercenary cost. That's the general cost reduction. Army drill gain modifier plus 100%. Nice. Reduced army damage taken by reserves. So that means that your reserves are going to be stronger. Regain manpower disbanding. Nice. Refill garrison. Build supply depots. So I'm not sure which one they say has switched around, but something has apparently switched around. Okay, so yeah, big changes. Has that changed how much money I have no loans. Well done, past Mordred. Okay, so we have apparently just been fighting Akanulu? No, Karakanulu, because we just took all of this territory here in order to try and get at the silk, which is hidden back in that area. So a bunch of our armies are over here, exiled right now, so I think we're basically just going to be pulling back and just start recruiting once more. We are 18,000 men short on manpower, but we should be fine with that. Enforce religious unity. We must not abide heretics in our realm. A harsh set of laws designed to target any followers of the traditions of false imams and priests will allow us to marginalize any heretical influence within our society. So that is missionary strength versus heretics. So that would be versus the Shia. Is there any downside to this? I just need to have an admin ruler of 3. I'm going to assume that's a new one, because I would have got that ages ago otherwise. So yeah, sounds good to me. Oh boy, so yeah, loads of changes coming in, so that's kind of cool. Prussian ideas and ouch! Prussian ideas, ouch! Yeah, that seems to work. I was actually trying to pour myself some tea, but the teapot was really sodding hot. Ow. Right. What else are you guys saying? That feeling when my disorganized rabble can't defeat Prussian 125% discipline, 100% drilled, 100% army professionalism soldiers. Yeah, those guys will be kind of hardcore now. And there's a couple of armies that could do something similar, like Sweden. Sweden is not OP! I'm going to have to play Sweden again sometime soon. One country which I actually kind of want to try playing is Denmark. They always kind of seemed like the underdog between the 3 Scandinavians, but I think they had a couple of updates in the Denmark update. So that's that. Oh, right, the other thing. This is actually called the Japan update because Japan's been updated. Now, I don't think I'll be able to show you any of those changes because they will not have carried over their map changes. But there are a couple of new daimyos in Japan, including Tokugawa and Oda, I think. So some of the big guys from later on. They still start as like very, very small, but have the potential to grow. And the Philippines and I think Indonesia have a couple of new countries. So there's going to be even less stuff to colonize over here. It's like, if you're a colonialist, you need to go and invade stuff. That's just the way that colonization seems to work nowadays. So yeah, that's the other thing. But again, I can't show you those because this is an old game that we are just continuing. Marvellous. Yeah, I'll be fine. Just my fingers sting a bit. I think it was more the shock. I was like, ow, that's really hot. I was not expecting that. Karakanulu is no longer a valid rival. Oh man, we have 80 power projection because we keep eclipsing people. And we're first in the Great Powers, of course we are. Ming is still behind us, but they're 150 tech behind. We did embrace this new technology very, very quickly, which is kind of cool. We can promote the government, but I don't think we need to do that because of no technologies due to be done, and we have no ideas. We are making a substantial amount of money, actually, considering all of our forts are fully maintained, and we are reinforcing. Japanese tea culture! Yes, more tea! Tea drinking is far from a new elephant. In Japanese culture. The continued development of the Japanese tea ceremony during the 16th century, however, has led to the drink now becoming commonplace throughout Japanese society. We like the Japanese. Price of tea changes, plus 25%, then the price of incense changes. Incense, is that me? Yeah, kind of. I mean, Adal is my vassal. It's more Ajuran, which is one of the ones that I was really thinking of going after. I mean, we've started gobbling up Ethiopia. Adal is our vassal already, so yeah, I think Ajuran might well be next on our list of targets. How are the Ottomans feeling? You are still allied with Bohemia, and I believe that Bohemia is, yeah, not the Emperor. Austria is very much the Emperor, although Bohemia has grown kind of a lot. Bohemia has definitely grown kind of a lot. Who am I still allied with? And do I need to pander any alliance things? I only have one rival. I think I want to make Russia a rival, because I'm not done beating them into the ground. Ming, I don't really have any reason to be in conflict with Ming, so sure, they can rival me. I'm not going to rival them back, though. Alright, Bhutan. My army should, as far as I know, still have full morale. I have not reduced maintenance. I have not. Oh, wow. 72 ducats. That's kind of expensive. Expulsion of merchants. Our merchants have been too successful in trade, and the owners of the local trade node are upholding their mercantilist ideals. Vijayanga. Trade power. Or they like me more. No, they stay. I don't really care. Colonize Brazil since Portugal no longer exists. Considering it's 1646, I'm going to guess that someone else has done it instead, like Spain. I mean, certainly the Caribbean is looking rather coloured. Probably English? Actually, it doesn't look like there's a huge amount done yet. I'm seeing some definite colours. And in fact, hang on, something's changed here. I thought I had the colonisable region still set as grey. Why has that changed? What would that be under? Video? Terrain in uncolonised. No. I want to see what's uncolonised. There we go. That's what I'm used to seeing. I don't really care about seeing terrain colours in Wasteland. I want to know the pretty colours and what colour I've painted the map. Have I played as a horde? Long ago I have. Probably should revisit that one of these days, especially now that Russia has kind of ballooned a little bit in power since. Yeah, should do. Alright, do we have any rebel uprisings? We have a bunch. Most of them are probably going to be over there. That is fine. We have some cores that we can't yet make. I think those were the ones in Ethiopia that we couldn't quite reach yet. But as we extend out towards them, we'll get that done. Rebel separatism, yeah. This is the movement speed reduction. Come on, guys. Oh, the other thing I can do is drilling. So, I mean, honestly, basically all of you should be drilling. But we'll definitely have you guys drilling. And then once you've arrived down there, we'll go and deal with you as well. Right, so you... Let's move some of you... Actually, no, you can stay over here to deal with any uprisings over on that side. We'll leave you kind of in the centre. I mean, this is more central now than Cairo was. Although I still kind of like having my troops in and around my capital. Brunswick are having a civil war. Sucks to be them. Are we any closer to any of the other cultural things? Not yet. Still a ways away. Let's make sure we catch and destroy them. Take them out. We can probably go back to speed 4. This should be a walk in the park. We'll go and retake that. Okay. Bejan Separatists. Where is this? Just give me a zoom to, please. Pretty please, with the cherry on top. Where is this? Over here. Okay. So I might even just leave you in this area. I think I'm still going to have you drilling. Yeah, I'll still have you drilling. Because as soon as I move you, you'll need to be uprooted. Why are you protecting trade on your own in kind of a weird way? Go to Aden. There you go. And you are upgrading battle fleets. You can probably go ahead and mothball, which will save us some more money. Lovely. And we're gaining 1,300 manpower a month, so we should be back up to full strength pretty darn soon. And those guys are about to rise up, so I'm actually going to go and stop you drilling for the moment. Can I afford to have 4 generals? I can have 5. Oh wow, and they're really good. They're freaking amazing. 6224 4514. Hello! Right, let's have you over there. Start you drilling. And where are you? Oh, you're way over there. Hello. You can have that guy and start drilling. Marvellous. What's that? Supply depot. Building a supply depot cost 20. Gives us the following effects. Counts as own territory when determining reinforcement supply. Limit modifier plus 50%. I assume you have to occupy the territory. Yes. Spice trade. Price of spice has gone up by 50%, and England gains a bunch of money. I have spices. I have a bunch of spice, actually. This is really good for me. Excellent. So how much are they worth now? 4.5. Is paper still worth more? Yep. Paper is obscene. Right, so Diplo. Do I want to save for the next Diplo Tech? Yes, because I want the 20% extra trade efficiency. Trade range is very much a kind of technology. And this is going to give me some more states. Excellent. So that's going to allow me to to state some new areas. Cool. Beja and Berber. Beja, Berber. So it's going to rise up in either of those. So what I might do is move you to Suakin so you can charge whichever province it is that is going to be causing the problems. Like, I want to provoke it. I want to have the rebel reduction. So go ahead and rise up. That is totally fine. I've always wanted to play Oman. Oman is a really good, fun one to play, actually. They have great ideas. Can we see what they are yet? Yes. Morale of Navy is plus 15%. Naval maintenance minus 20%. Trade steering plus 33%. Shipbuilding time 10%. National sailor modifier plus 10%. Tolerant to heathens 2%. Oh, plus 2. Trade efficiency plus 10%. Light ship cost minus 15%. They're one of the few that actually have that. Sailor maintenance minus 5%. Naval leader maneuver plus 1. And remember that maneuver increases your trade power of any fleets they're attached to, which are protecting trade. So Oman is one of the premier trading nations that is not a merchant republic. They're basically the Aragon of the Indian Ocean and the Persian Gulf. Is paper the white gold of EU4? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a fairly recent thing, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't nerfed it, because I'm pretty sure paper wasn't that valuable. Like, certainly not more than gems, which is kind of making me laugh. Where's my gem province? There you are. Yeah, gems are only worth 3. Paper's worth 5.25. It's kind of obscene. But, yeah, that's paper right now. I think that's mostly just because of the printing press. It might well collapse later, but it hasn't yet. Right, let's go ahead of time in admin, which sounds good to me. We can get some new... We can form Egypt. They seem to have removed the fact that you can't form Egypt if you are a Mamluk. They have. They've removed that. So we changed to an administrative monarchy rather than the Mamluk government, which I actually really like. I actually really do like it. We gain 4 base tax production, etc. Do I want to do this? I mean, it will allow me to get access to the more advanced governments later. What ideas do that little blue nation have? Which one? Ethiopia? That one? Akanulu? Alright, I'm just going to double check the differences in ideas between Egypt and the Mamluks, because I really like the Mamluks actually. So let's go and put EU4, no. Do that, and then a new tab, put you on that side. So we want EU4 Mamluks, and then EU4 Egypt. Okay, so Mamluks have got 10% cavalry combat ability, 25% trade steering, 5% global trade power, 10% global trade range, yearly prestige, manpower recovery, discipline, production efficiency, stability cost modifier reduction, 10% trade efficiency, 25% provincial trade power. Oh, they have Mamluk ideas still. It's just a change in government. In that case, it's really Mamluk government versus administrative monarchy. And honestly, Mamluk government kind of wins that one. Because the administrative monarchy adds 10% production efficiency and 10% trade efficiency, but the Mamluk government means that we permanently and for every single ruler have +2 admin skill, which is just plus advisors are cheaper, and monarch points trumps production and trade efficiency. So yeah, we're staying Mamluks. I'm not interested in forming Egypt, I'm sorry. The only real benefit that I can see from this... Oh, number of states +10. That might be a difference. What does the Mamluk government give us in terms of states? +10! No, it's the same. Maximum absolutism, +5. Oh, and this also gives us the... promoted cultures, autonomy change. Those are irrelevant. Diplomats, leaders without upkeep. No, all those are the same. I thought it might have given us years without separatism, but I think that's actually a Sunni thing, not government. Yeah, I know you can change monarchy as well, but I just like the Mamluk one too much. It's just so weighted towards having loads and loads of monarch points. And I like monarch points. Monarch points are rather good. So no, I'm going to say no, we're not doing it. Not interested. The little blue country by Oman. Mara? Oh, by Yemen rather. Ethiopia? That one? Wasungli? Merchants worried about the lack of protection with our focus on trade. Our merchants are concerned that they are not getting the support they would get under a more mercantilist policy. So we can gain mercantilism for diplo power. That sounds fantastic, considering it usually costs, what, 100 military points? So I am fully in favour of getting that. Our siege guy in the 3rd army has gained another siege skill. You know what? I'm going to name the armies. I haven't done that before. Let's do that. I like that idea. And maybe even the navies. No, the navies are... I name the navies after what they're doing and where they are, so I'm not going to name those, but I will name the armies. Rather than generals, because generals come and go too much. And I'm always doing something else when I could be naming them. Right, this one is going to be... one of those. Who's this? Der Goblin. This is the Der Goblin army. And bearing in mind that because they are named armies, the name always sticks around. So if the armies merge, then the named army will stay. If I lose these names, then later on, I'm sorry. And who else? Finny has not been for a while. Let's call this one Finny. Not since Total War Warhammer, I think. Right, let's go for a patron. Who's not been for a while? All of you guys have. Those two. Actually, you know what? We'll call you Arakor. Oops. New army. Arakor. And another one. We'll go with Tsar Oslo, as I know you're actually watching. Tsar Oslo, there you are. And then finally, one more Twitch sub. Who has not been? Mangus the Pious. I have not named anything after you yet, so this is a good introduction. Mangus the Pious. There we are. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. You wanted to see the Mara one. So Mara's ideas I think might just be generic. Navy tradition, ship durability. No, they're not. Goods produced modifier plus 10%. Mercenary maintenance minus 20%. National manpower modifier plus 10%. Naval maneuver plus 1. Cavalry cost minus 5. Movement speed plus 15. That's an interesting one. Yearly naval tradition decay minus 1. Monthly autonomy change plus minus 0.05. And then naval maintenance modifier minus 20. They're actually quite good too. I'm definitely going to have to look at some of the smaller countries again because they have massively changed and increased and just made more awesome the different modifiers available, which is kind of cool. There's the Berber riot, as we anticipated. Go and put them down, please. Thank you, Finny. And then once Finny is done there, I think I can quite safely say just go ahead and start drilling. So our entire army is drilling at this point, so we should be churning up the army professionalism really quite quickly. Idea cost reduction. Oh, cool. You are 54. Idea reduction, monthly war exhaustion. Actually, that was invaluable during the Karakanulu war. And we just lost a general, so let's go ahead and recruit another. We do seem to have fairly decent general ability. I'm going to get rid of that other one though, he was rubbish. Nope, unacceptable. Tradition is decaying, despite the fact that we have all the forts and drilling. Now, army professionalism should really be increasing pretty quickly now. So is it movement speed tied to drill? No, I think it is a professionalism thing, but it's not saying what the speed bonus is. Oh, there it is. It's an overall. So, movement speed plus 1.1%. So maybe the army drill of the entire army is taken as an aggregate. So if we do have mercenary regiments... No, this gives our non-mercenary regiments the following movement speed. It says specifically non-mercenary. I'm surprised it doesn't have that here as well. I guess it wouldn't matter if it's not for the entire army. A talented judge. Acquiring an education in theology and law is often a long process involving studying classical works of law under the tutelage of sheikhs of various madrasas. So we can get the local construction cost reduction, or we can get a level 3 philosopher of Turkish heritage at 50% cheaper. I am Egyptian, so I'm not interested. Although we can now accept Persian, which is pretty cheap, so no, because we want to go up in Diplotech. Once we've done that, then we can consider it.